everyone and welcome to this 9th replay commentary on Wargame European Escalation. So just before the replay, I'll briefly speak about the free DLC and the patch that came out last night. So the DLC is free, so all you need to do is go in Steam on Wargame's Steam page, click on DLC and download it. There is nevertheless a small bug in the DLC. Most of the players don't have access to the new content in-game, even if they downloaded the DLC. What I can recommend is go and look on the official boards of Wargame European Escalation. Everything is explained there on how to correct the bug of the DLC. If you can't find it or don't understand how to do, don't hesitate to post a comment on YouTube and I'll try to respond as quickly as I can. So, regarding the new content, first the patch gave us the new option to change the keyboard customization, so that's really nice. Of course, it's something that should have been in the game since the beginning, but adding it really is nice from the devs part. And then there is 3 different additions in the multiplayer part. First, as you can see here, some lobbies have a blue triangle here, which means they are playing with the new maps. Indeed, 7 new maps have been added to Wargame. So, to the old maps, some details have been added. Normal means the normal game modes, and this means the size of the map, small, medium and large. 5 new normal maps have been added, 4 small and 1 large, and 2 maps, Last Stand and Alamo, are siege maps, which are maps that I will show you during the replay. I'll be playing on Alamo. And these maps basically have one team in the middle and the other team circling it and starting on the edge of the maps, trying to destroy them. Of course, there are 2 types, twice each map, because on one map NATO is in the middle, on the other map it's PACT, and same for Alamo. The second option added by the DLC is the possibility to play against AI in multiplayer. You can't have AI in your team, but you can have it against you. There are 3 levels of difficulty: easy, medium and hard. Even if the hard isn't that challenging, it still is quite nice for those who like Comstomp. The third addition in the game is in multiplayer. You can use flares to point areas on the map to your allies. There are 4 types of flares: the attack, defend and help flares, and the 4th one, which is a customizable flare where you can type any message you want. And I'll show you that during the replay. So here we go for the replay. As I told you, it's a siege game, 3v3 on Alamo, playing with 5 LVA members, so clan members. We have NATO in the middle of the map, played by Herra, Frank and Seloune, and PACT on the edge with Le Carabinier, Kaherdin and myself. So just to show you the positioning of this new siege map called Alamo. You have one team, here NATO starting in the middle. They control one big sector, giving a lot of points, 8. But they don't have any reinforcement arrows, they can't call in reinforcements. So they have money, but no reinforcements. The PACT, those starting on the edge, is the total opposite. They can call in reinforcements, but they don't have points. They don't earn points to call in reinforcements. So the goal of each team is clear. The PACT players on the edge have to control sectors like India, Gulf, Alpha and Delta to earn points and then call in reinforcements. And they have to stop the NATO players to take control of a reinforcement sector. NATO players, of course, their goal is to hold Charlie to earn a lot of points and to take control of one of the reinforcement sectors to use the points they have earned. So that's basically it. And honestly, after this game, it was a very nice game. We all enjoyed it very much, and it was our first siege game, and it was very nice. I really liked it. I hope you guys will all like it also. So speaking strategy, it's a 3v3 game. So we went on Foxtrot, Hotel, and Bravo. But the only problem is that we didn't want to spend more points on more commanders, because we needed the commanders to control sectors like Gulf, India and Delta to earn points. So we decided to not to put a commander on Echo, but still to defend it, of course, because we have to stop the enemy from controlling it. So our strategy was to Kaherdin in hotel was going to control India. So command unit and some infantry, of course, there's a lot of forest in India. Le Carabinier's strategy was to take control of Alpha. He's deploying a command vehicle and some infantry to take control of Alpha, where there is a lot of forest also. And on my part, my objective was to control Delta. So I went with heavy tanks for two reasons. First, there isn't a lot of forest in Delta, and second, I wanted to test the new ranges of the tanks since the last patch, which came out at the same time with the DLC. The heavy tanks, T-80, Abrams, Leopards, Leopards, T-64, MV, I think. Well, all the heavy tanks have gained 350 meters in range for their main guns. So as you can see here, we are at 2275 meters for the 125mm main guns. So it's quite nice. So I wanted to test them. So I went for 2 T-80B, 2 T-80s to attack Delta, and 4 Strop 2, 1 ME9, and of course 1 command vehicle to control Delta. And on Echo we put a few units to defend it, 1 recon, infantry, flamethrower tanks on my side in the forest, and Carabinier put tanks in the beneath the trees here, sorry, and 2 anti-air units, 2 Strop 2s. On the NATO side, well, a huge deployment in the middle with 3 FOBs, 1 commander, and a lot of anti-air, Flak Panzer, Chaparral, mortars, anti-tank jeeps, and a huge attack force on the right. Attack force, now that the game has started, the attack force is going for Alpha, and a little for Echo also, it seems. Going for Alpha, and the first engagement will be between Frank's infantry units and Carabiniers infantry units also in Alpha. That's the first encounter. On the other side, India and Delta have been controlled by the PACT players, and Alpha also is controlled. Carabinier is just now trying to push back the first NATO offensive in Alpha. So at this point in the game, NATO is clearly trying to push for Echo. They probably saw we didn't put any commander in it, so maybe they think there is no unit inside of Echo, so they are going straight for it. We can see the commander going directly for Echo without any kind of escort. My flamethrowers start to shoot at the commander, but I was unlucky and didn't put my infantry where I had to, and the commander just gets hit but loses only 2 out of 5 HPs, hit points. So here I can show you the new flare system. So at this point we know that we mustn't let the enemy control Echo. So when I see the commander, I tell to my allies, guys, we've got a commander here, he's in this forest, you've got to destroy it. So I used the flare. So the flare, there are 4 kinds of flares: the attack, defend and help, and the 4th, which you can put any kind of message in it. So it's really, really useful, even with guys like us, part of a team who have voice communication. We need flares like this to pinpoint precise locations like forests, cities, or any other kind of locations. So at this point, the commander is here. Our ally Kaherdin sends in 2 Havoc helicopters to try to destroy it. 2 Havoc may be much, but we are ready to sacrifice them to destroy the commander. It's 200 points against the 320 something. But we know that if they control Echo, it's a big strategic loss. So we prefer to lose a lot of points by destroying the commander, even if we prefer to deny Echo to the enemy, even if it means losing 2 Havoc helicopters. On this side of the map, a huge, well, not huge, but an offensive of NATO units in Delta that destroy my 2 T-80s, T-80Bs actually, and start pushing into Delta. I pull back my Strop 2, which is targeted by NATO NATO mortars. I send in infantry and my T-80s to try to stop the NATO offensive. On this side, my flamethrowers killed quite a lot of units, but the enemy entirely destroys Kaherdin's force. All his tanks are utterly destroyed, and only one of his anti-air manages to get out alive, but is totally routing. The two Havocs are coming in. Unfortunately, we can't detect the Roland 2s. They're just beneath the hill, and my recon can't see it. But we got very lucky. The enemy just moved out his commander to control Echo just at that moment, and so we managed to detect it with the Havocs. The Havocs start targeting the command units. One of them is destroyed, but we kill the command units. Our goal is achieved, and the second Havoc will try to get out of the situation, and apparently manages to do so. The Roland shoots also, and no, the Havoc is destroyed by the last missiles of the two Marder Roland 2. So at this point we lost quite a lot of points, which allows the NATO side to dominate 1,200 to 700. But we still denied Echo to the enemy, so they can't call in reinforcements, which is the positive point of this game for now. On this side, my two T-80s attacked once again, destroying one AMX-32 and routing the other, and will start destroying the Kaherdins also. Unfortunately, chest of Hamas are coming in. With one rocket they destroy one of my T-80s, who I pull back as fast as I can. But unfortunately, three Jeeps Tau come in range and start shooting their ATGMs on my T-80. The first shots are just going in the nature, but then they send three more missiles. Two of them hit and my tank is utterly destroyed. Little infantry offensive on this side. I send in my helicopters to counter the offensive and pull back once again my Strop 2s. And at that moment I decide to pull back my commander also. Situation becoming very difficult and menacing. So I pull back my commander, hoping I will be able to use it further on in the game. Once again, mortars shooting in the forest on my infantry units. I decide to re-embark them as quickly as possible and to push them back in this forest to save them. Meanwhile, on Echo, I control this forest, but I get destroyed by a few offensive of French infantry, and I still control this forest, and the enemy doesn't have command units near Echo to control Echo. So for now, the situation in Echo, even if we don't have much troops left, we still manage to avoid the enemy control. So everything is quite okay, I guess. So still control of India and Alpha. The PACT team has 6 of revenue, while NATO has 8. NATO has a small advantage here, but as long as they don't control a reinforcement zone, it's all benefits for the PACT team. Unfortunately, NATO starts moving his second commander and will try to capture once again Echo to send in reinforcements. Little infantry offensive here. I saw the Chaparral, so I tried to attack and destroy them. Unfortunately, they pulled back just as I attacked, but I still managed to destroy a VAB and 2 Flak Panzer Gepards. So I still managed to destroy some things. At that point in the game, I detect the enemy commander. I say it to my allies, I tell them, guys, if they go on Echo, we are totally screwed. They'll just send in reinforcements and we won't be able to contain them. So at that point, we really need to react, but there's nothing much we can do. We don't control Echo, so we can't send in reinforcements, and sending in helicopters, well, it's just suicidal. They've got anti-air a bit everywhere. At this point, Carabinier tells my ally that he's going to send his infantry in this forest, and Kaherdin replies he's going in here. So these are the flares with the customizable messages. You can type in whatever you want. So this will allow our allies to more or less coordinate their attack. So that's more or less it. I recruited 7 jeeps here to try to counter the enemy tanks. Little infantry shelling at this point, but I managed to split my jeeps before they kill any of them. And unfortunately, jeeps don't have any HE power, so they'll have to pull back against these Chest of Hamas, who will be able to destroy them if I don't get out. But I hopefully react quite quickly and send in my 2 Mi-24 helicopters, who will be able to destroy the Chest of Hamas without any retaliation, unless the anti-air moves forward. In Echo, the commander is nearly arrived, and at that point we really need to react quickly. So little offensive on this side with my anti-tank teams, with my recoilless rifles mounted on jeeps. I managed to destroy the Sheridans, but the real problem comes from Echo. At this point, I saw that Echo was controlled by the enemy, so I told my allies we have to do something. If they're sending all their reinforcements with all the points they accumulated until now, well, they are going to overwhelm us really quickly. So at this point, I react. I regroup all the troops I have. I send in my infantry in my transports, and send in all I've got to try to destroy the commander. I don't even know where he is, so it's a big bet on my part. Hopefully I'm quite lucky, detect them, and two shots of my T-055s destroy the commander. At this point, me and my allies think we've nearly won the game. We are nearly back in terms of points. We've destroyed the commander, but unfortunately, what we don't know is that the enemy has recruited a new commander, and we'll send it back into Echo, and we will be able to control Echo. But at the same time, a very good news arrives. The commander hidden in this forest was destroyed by infantry units sent by Kaherdin. He's totally destroyed by the enemy artillery, but he destroyed the commander. So now the enemy has his reinforcement sector Echo, but doesn't earn any more points in Charlie, thanks to Kaherdin's offensive. So we still have the upper hand here. We've got 3 reinforcement sectors and we earn 6 points, while the enemy has only 1 reinforcement sector and doesn't earn a single point. So a very huge advantage on our side. My offensive here went very badly. While I was controlling the troops here to destroy the enemy commander, I was totally destroyed by Chest of Hamas hidden underneath the forests here. I made the mistake of not sending in recon units with my troops, but unfortunately, lack of I could have sent in my Mi-9, but they had quite a lot of anti-air with chaparrals in the area, so it was quite risky. Little attempt here to try to block the enemy reinforcement area, and a suicidal attempt to attack the enemy commander. At this point, I thought that they had sent a commander from Charlie to Echo, but it was a reinforcement commander, so it was here, and I thought it was over here. I decided that maybe a suicidal attack could lead to a victory, but well, it led only to the loss of 2 helicopters. Quite a bad move on my part. Tons of points. We are still quite it's still quite balanced, even if NATO is taking a bit of the upper hand here. The Spetsnaz of Kaherdin are trying to destroy any enemy unit in this sector, but unfortunately they won't. Well, they destroy a bit, but there isn't much enemy in this area. They'll have to move here to destroy more units. To the north, well, still no enemy offensive to the north. It may be our opportunity to attack from this side. At this point, well, I know that Delta will be hard to retake, they've got units in it and I don't have a lot of units to counter-attack, so the commander that I pulled back from Delta, I sent it in India, allowing our ally, Kaherdin, to use his commander to try to control Charlie, which would have given us a lot of points, more than doubling our point income. So here we go, Kaherdin is sending his offensive army in this forest to try to control it and send in his commander. So this sector is totally controlled by the enemy, who is moving his commander. Now he will try to send it back to Charlie. He has a reinforcement sector, but it is useless now, as I guess they used all their reinforcement points. So now they are going back into Charlie to regain, to re-earn points, and then they will send it back to Echo to recruit units. Well, that is at least what we think their plan is. But at this time, we send in our units and commanders in this sector and start controlling Charlie. Unfortunately, the enemy have a lot of units in this forest, and they start shooting with their mortars in the forest. At that point, Kaherdin pulls back his commander, of course. Without doing so, he could have lost it stupidly. And I tell him to send it over here, and he will send it just here where the slope begins, to try to control Charlie while staying hidden. So it's the enemy will still think we are in this sector, but we have moved right over here. The enemy has sent in his commander in the forest. We have sent it just here on the slope, and now we have contested Charlie. So at this point in the game, we don't earn Charlie, but the very good point is that we stop the enemy from earning points. So he doesn't have a reinforcement sector, he doesn't earn points, so his situation is very desperate for now. He still leads by nearly 500 points, but without any points or reinforcements, he won't be able to last long. So at this point, we know that they are going to try to defend as much as possible. So our strategy will, of course, be to start recruiting artillery. So that's why Carabinier is starting recruiting Acacia and Smerch units, while, of course, Kaherdin, with his MSTA 5 recruited at the beginning of the game, well, near the beginning, continue pounding the middle of the map. At this point, the enemy still thinks our commander is here, so he still continues attacking and shelling the area. Unfortunately for him, our commander isn't there, and they won't be able to find it in this forest. Little infantry offensive here. The goal was to clear the forest to avoid any units attacking our commander. We have the Spetsnaz here defending the forest and the left side of the command vehicle and spotting any unit coming in, while my infantry will wipe out this forest and detect any units coming in from the right of the command units. At this point, I tell my allies that I think the enemy commander is in this sector. Of course, I saw that they left Echo, so my guess was that they took their commander in Echo and sent it back to Charlie. So I thought, well, the most logical and direct point to put their commander is either in this forest or in this one. And I, well, saw right, of course, because their commander is right here. So the goal was to either pound the forest with artillery or send in units to attack. Unfortunately, I don't have much units at this point in the game, and it's the enemy who starts moving in. He sends in recon units with his Sage, and ground units with his anti-tank teams here, his jeeps, and one A1 Abrams. Little offensive here, which pushes us to pull back our commander. So the enemy controls Charlie for now. Hopefully the Smerch, the two Boratinos, totally destroy the AMX-32s and whatever was with them. So we can send back our commander to contest once again the Charlie sector. On this side, I send in units to start attacking Delta. My recon detects the enemy units, and at that point I tell my ally, hey, there's an Abrams here, please shoot it with your artillery. Well, at least try to stun it so that I can attack it with my recoilless rifles. So he starts shelling the area, but the enemy will pull back before the artillery has any effect on the unit. So India is still controlled by our troops. Alpha also, the battle in Alpha is long gone. Echo is totally controlled by the enemy. It's very, very well defended, but they don't have any commander, so it's not really useful. Delta is still controlled by the enemy, and I will try to attack to contest Delta and then push on the enemy commander right here. That is at least the goal at this point in the game. The enemy is trying to push in the sector. We have one lone Spetsnaz left. Awesome. And the Buratino still pounding the entire area. We've got Smirch, Akatias, Buratinos, and MSTA-5s pounding the Charlie sector, trying to destroy everything we can and reduce the enemy numbers. Here we go for the offensive on my side. I destroyed one Sage just here and pushing in. I destroyed the Marder to Roland, and here was a very, very big mistake of my part. I'm usually a NATO player, so for me the recoilless rifles have 7 AP, but here the Jeeps have only 6. So against the Abrams, which has 9 and 7 armor on the front and on the side, I can't do anything unless shooting him from the rear. So when I attacked, I tried to take him from the side by splitting my Jeeps, but that's, well, of course, I forgot he had such a big armor on his flank. I totally got destroyed by the Abrams. I, well, hopefully still managed to destroy his 2 Sages, 4 Roland 2. One of them going now, and 1 Jeep destroyed. So of course it was still a good offensive, and the Abrams had to pull back to avoid, well, he's all alone now, so he has to pull back. It's a better move for NATO. Little offensive here, but destroyed by the helicopters. So for now, we are the PACT team is totally getting the upper hand here. They have nearly 600 points more than the NATO team, and they control Charlie. Well, no, they control Alpha, India, Foxtrot, Hotel, and Bravo, while the NATO team doesn't control a single sector. So the situation is really desperate for the NATO, especially now they don't have any more supply left. The Chaparral is critical, here critical, same. They don't have any FOB left, they don't have any supply left. It's really a desperate situation for the NATO troops. At this point in the game, I know that I still think the commander is here, so I'll try to push with 2 T-80s on this right flank, and then with my infantry units. Enemy units trying to push on our left side, but we detect them in time, and we will, well, the helicopters are here to destroy them if they get out of the forest, and it's the case, and the Mi-24 starts killing the Chasseur FAMAS. On my side, I send in the 2 T-80s to start attacking in the rear of the enemy army. Unfortunately, his Abrams is just there. He kills instantly one of my T-80s, but hopefully the other one avenges the T-80 and destroys the Abrams. So I still have 1 T-80, 1 recon stuck in the mud, and infantry units that will come in to support the attack on the rear of the enemy's army. Kaherdin making a very good diversion attack. Well, not attack, but diversion. Just a diversion on this side. I managed to attack quite stealthily from behind, and we'll try to destroy the enemy commander. When VAB comes in here, well, very nice move from the enemy army. They try to take out our commander. One VAB with ATGM units inside just arrive, they disembark and try to shoot at our commander. The first rocket goes just above the commander, and the commander then just pulls back, trying to save his little ass. But unfortunately, he goes on the other side, and at that point, 4 MBT-70s just destroy it. So now the NATO army is back in action. They are now controlling Charlie, and will try to earn points before recapturing Echo and coming back in the game. They are only 500 points behind us, but unfortunately for them, I push in from behind. My recon detects the Fuchs and then the command unit. My T-80 just kills the Fuchs and then will take the commander target. My units just arrive. The command unit is my priority, and thanks to Kaherdin's units here, which distract a lot the enemy, well, they don't detect, they don't seem to be aware of my attack, and my infantry units will send a rocket and destroy the commander. And that allows us to win instantly the game. So, all in all, a very nice match, very entertaining for us who played. 6 members of LVS, we were all communicating, and we were all having a lot of fun. This siege mode is very, very fun, very interesting. I played 2 games so far, and both were very nice. But of course, it needs a lot of team communication. So 7,000 against nearly 5,000, a decent major victory for the PACT army. 4,000 command points earned against 2,000. Their problem was that we contested Charlie a big part of the game, so they didn't earn a lot of points, and casualties were of course the same as here. Yeah, just one little thing. In siege mode, I guess that the army in the middle has to recruit, well, at least has to keep all their commanders, or to recruit armored ones and recruit more, because, well, of course, if they lose 1 or 2 commanders, they will have only 1 left, which will be very difficult to, at the same time, continue earning points and control reinforcement sectors. So, of course, it will take a lot of training to really master the strategies of the siege mode. So, very nice game, very nicely played from all players. I hope all of you guys liked it, and see you next time.